They certainly are. Well, we await for the finalists, and as we wait for Carolina Marin and Unsei Young, I can tell you that with both players unseeded, this is only the second ever Women's Singles World Tour tournament final to feature two unseeded players. The first was in Australia a year ago. It's also only the second time that it's happened here at the French Open, but that was 3 years ago. Here comes the Olympic champion, Carolina Marin, a winner here 4 years ago when she beat Wang Shexian in the final. Her opponent, the 17-year-old Unsei Young, becomes the first Korean to contest a World Tour Super 500 or above women's singles final. In fact, when you look back, you have to go all the way back to the Indonesian Open of 2017 for Sung Ji-hyun contesting the final in Jakarta. That was a premier Super Series event, so this really a huge occasion for Unsei Young.
Les arbitres et juges de service, arbitre représentant la Malaisie, the umpire from Malaysia, Christine Tanaiteng.
So our court officials have been introduced. Crystal Tan from Malaysia.
Germany, Jörg Eskel.
Jörg Eskel, or Germany, the service judge. And now we will have the toss of the coin. And there has been a slight drift here as we look at the head-to-heads, and it was only one previous meeting. And that was in the quarterfinal last week of the Denmark Open. 3 games, an hour and 20 minutes for Carolina Marin to win through in Odense at last week's Denmark Open. Making her 4th appearance here is Carolina Marin. A first appearance for this young lady. And this is only her 2nd ever Super 750 tournament. And she's reached the final. Her first was a week ago in Denmark. But Carolina Marin, the Olympic champion, is now 26 years of age, born in Huelva in Spain, but now lives in Madrid. Former world #1, spent 66 weeks as world #1, but shot up 6 places after her performance in Denmark last week, up to number 17. And as you can see, she has twice been pushed the full distance in the first round against Chai Yen of China, and then in the quarterfinal against another former world champion and former world #1, Arachin of Incheon. But it's been a tough old draw, because in the second round she beat a former world champion in Nozomi Okuhara semi-final against Tai Su-ying, the world #1. 17-year-old Unsei Young, what a remarkable run she is having. Up 3 places in the world ranking this week to number 16. And I believe that if she wins today's final, she will actually enter the top 10. That would be absolutely extraordinary. Well, she has won all of her matches in straight games. That's a little deceiving, because actually in the second round against Chen Xiaoxin, she dropped the opening game, and then sadly her opponent badly twisted an ankle and had to retire, went well down in that second game. So it looked as if it was going to go to 3 games, but she hasn't actually won all her matches in 3 games, but she hasn't had to play 3 games so far in this tournament. Well, it really is quite sensational that a 17-year-old should be contesting the final, but she won't be the youngest ever winner or finalist as far as a Super Series or World Tour of this level or Super 500 and above, but she will certainly be the youngest World Tour winner if she was to win.
Only from last year onwards.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah, Akane Yamaguchi did really well in Japan Open when she won it the first time.
Yes, in 2013, won as a qualifier, 16 years, 3 months and 16 days of age. But the youngest ever finalist at a Super Series was the now world #1 Tai Tzu Ying. She also reached a final as a qualifier. That was 2010 in Singapore. She turned 16 on finals day in Singapore.
Ang Se-young won the toss, but chose to receive.
Wow.
And Marin possibly chose to stay on that side of the court.
Marin to serve. Lock on. Play.
So only the second ever all unseeded women's singles final at a World Tour event. Only the second ever here at the French Open since the inception of the Super Series and now World Tour. Now, Morten, did you call their semi-final last week? I'm a bit of a blur. I'm not even sure if I called it.
It was either you or me. That's all I can say. I actually think I called it.
Right.
But sometimes, as you say, it becomes a bit of a blur. It's just match after match after match.
Yeah. But it was pretty special, wasn't it? An hour and 20 minutes.
It was very close.
And Carolina Marin had to come from 8-13 down in the deciding game before winning it 21-18. Well, if we have a match like that, we're in for a great final.
Service over. 2-0.
I know that we've both had a chance to look at Ang Se-young. I think we first saw her at the Sudirman Cup in Nanning. Well, that's when I first
Yeah, that was
saw
the
her.
first time, yes.
Yeah. What are her qualities, do you think? What's making her so special?
She's got exceptional good retrieving skills. She's getting a lot of shots back.
Service over.
And she's playing with a very nice net play. Especially yesterday, she was playing a wonderful net play, and that was kind of the difference and one of the reasons why she won that semi-final of yesterday. Then she's got a good cross-court smash from her around the head situation. It's more like a half smash. It's not like a big, powerful one, but it's very, very accurate. And on top of that, if it comes to flat play, she's just like almost any other Korean player.
Yeah.
Really good at it.
Yeah. A little bit of a concern that she's got strapping on her left leg, but of course it was her right leg where she had her ACL surgery, anterior cruciate ligament surgery.
But I think it's nice to see that Ang Se-young is not wearing that strapping on her right knee as what she started off with in this tournament. The last 2 days she's not been wearing any strapping at all.
It's going wide.
It is.
Yeah.
5-3.
Well, for Carolina Marin, this is her 4th final in only her 6th tournament of the year.
Yeah.
Quite extraordinary, isn't it? Come
Yes.
back from major surgery like that.
It's a huge comeback.
Oh, yes. That's a lovely shot.
6-3.
You made a great spot yesterday, Morten, in Carolina Marin's semi-final about her round the head shots and how you think that she's probably playing more cross-court to try and protect her backhand side.
I think it's a conscious choice on her behalf.
I think you're right.
And I think she would normally she would, in the past, I've been sort of searching my mind on it as well. In the past, she would go down the line on her attack and then with a follow-up, most likely go cross-court to the net, but she's hardly ever doing that anymore. She's going cross, playing safe, it's going into her forehand and she's fairly comfortable with that.
Yeah. Oh, she's quick on it. My goodness.
And she would do exactly that just on the backhand side previously. The smash down the line, the follow-up, and with the backhand cross-court. Here's the forehand cross-court.
Yeah. It's interesting because when we watched her win the China Open, her second consecutive China Super 1000 event, I was watching her movement really closely, as indeed I am in this rally. Oh yes, well played. But there was another example of the cross-court clear from what is her round-the-head position.
Yes.
And I honestly didn't spot, and I thought this is just remarkable in China because it looks as if she hasn't been injured. She looks almost exactly the same as she was before.
And I agree with you, she does. And here we had a perfect example of how well Ang Se-young is playing at the net. She's playing this block shot at the net, and the follow-up is just perfect. And she is really good at that. Here we had the straight smash and the follow-up.
Oh, well taken. It's landing well in. Yeah. Brushed it off the top of the tape. Carolina Marin.
8-5.
Oh, she'll see that as a missed opportunity.
6-8.
Interesting, this morning I was actually having breakfast with the Park Yubong,
Oh yes.
the coach of Japan, and we talked a bit about the match between Ang Se-young and Akane Yamaguchi of yesterday. And I said, you know, I can still see that Yamaguchi is not 100%. And he said, no, she's not. But she will be 100% when it comes to the Fuzhou China Open in 2 weeks' time.
Oh,
Then she will be ready.
That's good news.
That's very good news. And then I spoke to Yamaguchi, and she said, yeah, 2 weeks' time, I should be okay.
Yeah, excellent.
So, that was quite nice.
Service over. 9-7.
There's a wonderful example of what we were talking about on her net play.
Yeah, she's having a very nice spin on that forehand net shot there, and she's very, very consistent in what she's doing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good judgment too. Back level.
9 all.
And that's perfect anticipation by Aung Soo. She knows that Marin favours that cross-court leather net, and she went straight for it. Try to have a look at that. She was there even before the shot was played, and of course pushing it deep into that forehand corner was too much trouble for Marin, but the anticipation from Aung Soo was really outstanding there. She's done her homework. It's good defensive work there from Marin. Very good.
And that's landed on the line. Although Aung Soo doesn't agree with that, she's challenging.
Strategically, it's a good time to take a challenge as well. I think that's not using it too early either, but it's quite crucial.
Yeah. Oh, good job, line judge. Line judges have done a really good job this week. We've hardly seen any overrules, have we? With the
very, very few.
Yeah.
Play.
Well, the advantage is with Aung Soo. 1 point advantage at the mid-game interval in the opening game. Now, Morton, as we can't understand what the coaches are saying, the fact that you brought up that you had breakfast with Park Ji-long, that's, of course, he's head coach in Japan. And the obvious thing about today's final, no Japanese players.
It's incredible when you consider how strong the team is.
Yeah. So I decided to look up when the last time this happened.
Yes.
So the last time it happened was at the Indian Open, and I thought, I'll just check the draws. Not one single entry in this year's Indian Open from Japan. So I looked at last year. Yeah. The only tournament where no Japanese players involved in the final, Indian Open, no entries. You have to go all the way back to the Hong Kong Open of 2017 when the Japanese players entered, but
with a 14. Yeah.
With a 14, but none reached the final.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah.
It's a very, very strong team from Japan.
It is. Well, that's 48 tournaments that where they've entered, they've always had a finalist.
And I can then tell you that Park Ji-long told me he has been, end of this month, in Japan for 15 years and starting on year 16 from the 1st of November.
Wow. Yeah, that's good play from Carolina Marin.
11-all.
So I wonder if Fernando Rivas has asked her to try and dictate the pace more.
When Akane Yamaguchi was winning her points yesterday, it was when she was dictating pace. She was playing faster, she was playing much more aggressively as and when she won the points. And that's the way to go forward against Aung Soo. You got to be able to play at a higher pace, because otherwise she will just comfortably settle in and keep it going.
Yeah.
So you really have to push her when it comes to pace.
Oh, she's off balance there.
Yeah, sometimes she takes the chance.
12-11.
think there might be a bit of a... Which knee was it that was strapped with Aung Young?
It was the right knee.
It was the right knee, okay, because I've just been a little concerned. The last two rallies, her movement around the head position, where she's landing on the left leg, she's looked uncomfortable.
Yeah, she's taking a chance or two now and have to refocus.
Well, we've had 4 points since the mid-game interval, and all 4 points to Carolina Marin. Oh, goodness. Amazing rally. This is terrific.
It's very, very good pace from Marin. She is dictating everything that's happening in this rally.
5 straight points for Carolina Marin. I'm pretty certain that's the longest rally of the match so far.
Okay, thank you.
That's a brilliant clear to end the rally, wasn't it? Inch perfect. Indeed, it was the longest rally. 33
Play.
shots. Oh, my goodness. Perfection from Marin.
16.
Well, I don't know what Fernando Rivas said, but whatever he said, it's had the desired effect, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, I think you pinpointed it when you say it's about pace.
Yeah. Delightful.
Yeah, but this is where you still see that Marin is having problems on around the head situation. She was very cautious. Try to have a look at this one. Very, very cautious on that one and played it as high as she could to gain time. She was not attacking it. She was very cautious on it.
Yeah.
And that's where you see that she is still, you know, it's at the back of her mind. And can't blame her.
Oh, that's super. Now, I remember reading an article some number of years ago about Monica Seles, who, you know, was stabbed in the back by a fan of Steffi Graf.
Hamburg or something, I think.
That's right. Yeah. And they talked about the fact that long after the physical scars had healed, the mental scars hadn't. And I think probably Carolina Marin is going through that transition phase of the physical scars have healed, but mentally, does she trust it?
Yes.
Well left.
Service over.
Well, here, there's no doubt Aung Se-young is inviting for flat exchanges. And that's why she's attacking the body of Marin in order to try to get her into these exchanges. And she won it because it was pushed wide on the sideline. And I think that's one of the tactics.
Just gone long.
14, 17.
Oh, yes. Oh, super angle. Given what you've just said, Morten,
15,
I'm wondering whether that was the
17,
right
quick.
choice of shot from Carolina Marin when she came forward and she played the fast push.
Yeah, I think she should just play the block shots,
Yeah.
not going into these fast pushes, because that's where Ang Se-young is really strong. For a 17-year-old, she's doing remarkably well
Yeah.
on that.
So 4 of the last 5 points.
Yeah, never write her off.
No.
Never. See here, there's another invitation. But this time it was into the forehand of Marin, and she replied very well. But it was an invitation.
15.
I wonder if she changed her mind there.
16, 18.
And I wonder whether Ang Se-young is winning this opening game after all. She's on a good run here. And she's starting to hit good winners compared to the opening part of the first game here.
That was a big point.
Service over. 19, 16.
None of the coaches giving too much away by their facial expressions.
Definitely not. But I think they're quite happy. I know she's not leading, but I think they're quite happy.
Game point opportunities, 4 of them for
16.
Carolina Marin. Oh, string's gone.
String gone.
Yeah. Opening game to the Olympic champion, Carolina Marin, 21-16.
21, 16.
22 minutes for that opening game.
A ver, volvemos a lo mismo. Paridad en el ataque es fundamental. ¿Has visto el remate profundo? O sea, el volante viene plano, ahí es donde puede hacer un buen follow-up, pero tanto de derecha como de revés. Si eres capaz de mezclar los paralelos profundos con los picados cortados, cruzados, ahí va a generar mucha incertidumbre. Y de vez en cuando uno al cuerpo para que se mantenga en el centro, ¿vale? Si juegas al cuerpo, que seas fuerte, pégale fuerte a la cadera derecha, ¿vale? Red, centro.
때릴 수 있는 걸로 낮게 그래야 쳐야 돼. 그렇지? 그리고 랠리를 경기를 길게 보란 말이야. 길게. 말 단타로 끝내려고 그러면. 알았어? 그래갖고 네가 장점이 뭐야? 수비잖아. 수비가 안 되면 그렇지. 올리고 나면 빨리 가야 돼. 공을 빨리 가야 돼. 수비가 수비하고 된다. 수비하고 가야 돼. 그게 돼야 돼. 알았어?
Well, Carolina Marin just one game away from winning her second title here at the French Open. So only two other women's singles players who've managed to do that. Wang Yihan and Wang Shixian.
Second game.
And incidentally, they won consecutive titles as well.
They did. It's also interesting to see how dominant China has been in the women's singles here since 2007.
Just out of reach of Wang Xiyang. Yes, 8 of the titles, women's singles titles, since 2007 have gone to Chinese players here at the French Open.
I must admit, I've been checking up on it. 5 of them, all Chinese affairs, which is showing a lot of dominance. But the last 4 years, it's been different.
Yeah, great length. Finds the back line.
2-love.
That was a tight shot from Wang Xiyang. That cross court from the forehand. Just clipping the top of the tape. Try to have a look at this one. Very tight, but what a good recovery shot here from Marin. Full stretch, still controlling it quite nicely. Another invitation, and this time it was directed towards the backhand side of Marin, and that's paid off very nicely there for Wang Xiyang. It's cleverly played.
Play.
The problem at the moment from Marin is that she's not winning the net exchanges, but she doesn't dare to play these long net shots into the court because that's inviting for the flat. So she's got a few options of that lifting towards the back line most of the time, and then of course trying to play winners on her smash. So at the moment, right now, she's got some limitations on what she can do. And you can see that Carolina Marin is pushing a lot towards the back line because she knows she is aware of the situation.
That's going wide. Oh, cracky, it almost came back in. We were talking yesterday about a sideways drift, weren't we?
Yeah, it's still there.
It's still there.
It is.
I thought that was going to go a long way out.
Carolina, show way to whip. Okay. Thank you. Play.
Did you notice that, Morten? After that rally, there was a verbal celebration from the Korean youngster, sort of copying what...
It is a copy. It's a complete copy. I haven't.
Yes, of what Marin does the whole time.
She's done that from the very first in the first game. She's done it from the very beginning of the match, which is I have noticed it.
Service over. 5,
It's just
6.
a matter of volume at the moment.
Yes. Oh, that is terrific. What a shot
Service over.
from Anthony Young.
7-5.
Amazing angle.
Yeah, that's what I said. This half smash cross court from the around the head situation is really accurate. She's playing it so well. But Marin really have to start opening up a bit on the net. She can't play this simplistic and win. She must start to try to challenge at the net again and see whether she can regain some control there. Because by lifting like this, her game becomes too simple. And Ang Se-young is really winning.
Good retrieving.
So she's got to start bringing the net game back into play.
By getting there first and playing.
Getting the first and playing it tight enough.
Yeah.
But very good play from the youngster. She's responding extremely well.
Service over.
And here we had an example of the push away from the net from Marin. It's not really hurting Ang Se-young at all. From a Korean point of view, of course, it was not the best clear as it was going out, but she was in total control.
A little loose from Ang Se-young. Got what it deserved. Is that sort of thing you want her to try, or not necessarily in that sort of circumstance?
That's a fine shot. Of course, she's unlucky it's not staying in.
Yeah.
But it's a fine shot, but I would possibly just try to play a straight spinning net shot.
Yeah.
And purely go on pace.
There, she could have played a net shot.
Yeah, and you can see it doesn't hurt. These pushes are not hurting Ang Se-young at all. She's getting out of trouble every single time.
Yeah.
Service over. 8-10.
The shoelaces, the colours of Solibad, Badminton Without Borders, the charity that so many of the badminton players support. 10-year anniversary this year of Solibad. Well, we're to the mid-game interval with a 3-point advantage for Ang Se-young. 35 minutes into the match.
예치발을 하긴 하는데 여기서
20 seconds. 20 seconds. Coach, back to your chair. Coach,
그것만 생각.
coach, back to your chair. Player from court. Carolina.
Well, Carolina Marin needs to be careful here because the umpire has called her to return to court. Still toweling down.
Carolina.
The umpire's going to have a word with her.
Please have that, okay? Okay, all right.
Just saying I couldn't hear you.
Play.
Oh, just long.
Service over. 9-11. Play on.
See, yeah, she won it, but that's what I want Marin to do.
Yeah.
Play that spinning net shot on the forehand side, setting a very short lift up and a good smashing opportunity, and she played it lovely too at the forehand side of the body, but that one there is the one that's setting it all up. So if you look at it from a Spanish point of view anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the tie spinning.
Yeah,
That's a
twice,
great
but it's
lift.
a good lift from Ang Se-young.
Wow.
Wonderful lift.
Yeah.
Service over. 4-10.
But one of the very important points that Marin won in the first game was at 19, where she played a spinning net shot, and it took the top of the tape and set up a game point for her.
Oh, that's great smash.
Service over. 11-12.
And Ang Se-young have to be careful that she's not being too just, what does he call it, reactive and not proactive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening at the moment for Ang Se-young. She's got to be careful.
Oh my goodness. Oh. She very, very nearly got that back.
And it's interesting, she's trying to go cross-court on it. So many were just trying to get it over. She's actually trying to do something about the shot despite she's on the floor.
So back level, having been 3 points adrift at the mid-game interval. Oh, that's pushed wide.
Service over. 13-12. Service over. 13-all.
Oh, yes. That's one inside the back line.
Yeah, cleverly played by Ang Se-young. That one there, inviting,
14-13.
and she's getting exactly what she wants out of that one. Tactically, that is very astute. And now we see a more aggressive and proactive Ang Se-young in the last few rallies here.
There you go, Norton. You're spot on that.
Yeah, she's got to make the court bigger,
Yeah.
and she's doing it well on that forehand spin.
Ooh. Well, it's called in. I have to say, I'm with the line judge. We could have a cup of tea on this, Morton.
Okay, I think it's out. Your position is better than mine, but just starting with the excuses from the very word go. But I actually think that one could be out.
Here we go.
You win. It's good. The tea is on me.
So back level. Gosh, that could be a very, very important rally, that last one.
And there it comes.
Yeah. Well, I think you told us about that when it was 1-love in the first game.
Yes, I did. You asked me what the strong sides of Ang Se-young was, and I mentioned that as one of them, and she's really playing that one to perfection.
Yeah, longest rally so far, 42 shots. I think that's 3, or is it 4 outright winners with that round the head cross court? Yeah. There it is again.
17-15.
There's virtually no follow-through with that at all.
That's why it comes as such a surprise to her opponents, because she's really disguising it very well.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. This time from the round the head position, instead of going for her more favoured cross-court angle, plays the slice straight down the line. Well, you said she had accuracy. Yeah, spot on. Two points away from taking this second game and forcing a decider.
19-15.
Oh, that's pushed long. It's game point opportunities for Ang Se-young.
15. Service over. 16-20.
Two game point opportunities have been saved by Marin.
And now Marin is really trying to stress Ang Se-young, getting ready as quickly as possible, serving, giving the youngsters no time to think in regards to the situation. And that's wide. And that's wide.
But she made sure, nonetheless, Carolina Marin.
18-20. Near to the cross, yes. Thank you.
That's good effort, isn't it?
Like that. Like that. Like that, please. Se-young. 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 Ang Se-young. Show. Okay? Thank you. Play.
Oh, that's dangerous. Yeah, well played, Young. On her 4th game point opportunity. She converts and we will be treated to a 3rd and deciding game. 50 minutes into the match and it's 1 game all.
공격할 필요는 없어. 클리어 놓고 올리고 앞뒤로 땡기란 말이야. 그럼 빈자리가 보여. 그때 하나씩 때려줘. 먼저 공격하고 보지 말고 스트로크 계속 하고. 저때 스드르면 안 돼. 계속 돌려야 돼.
Precisamente en ese momento es donde tú me necesitas y no estás haciendo lo que
Pero quizá no encuentro, o sea, no encuentro las situaciones para hacerlo, no sé. Quizá no me encuentro con confianza como para hacer eso ahora mismo, no sé.
Pero Carolina, es que te encuentres con confianza o no, hay que hacerlo, porque si no te está ganando. O sea, es que no hay remedio, no hay remedio. Entonces, sabes perfectamente cómo activarte. Por eso te estoy viendo que te ocupes y tú estás continuamente preocupándote. Vamos a ocuparnos del plan de juego, repítete el plan de juego, ganes o pierdas la jugada. No te dejes llevar por el marcador, si ganas 5 puntos seguidos y te piensas que lo estás haciendo estupendamente. No, cada jugada tienes un protocolo, cada jugada, cada descanso tiene un protocolo que tienes que seguir. Tienes que jugar profundo. Ella está jugando profundo mucho en ti, está siempre levantando y ella está atacando. Tú no, tú juegas con la jugada, ¿vale? Y mantén la presión. El ritmo no puede ser lento, tiene que ser rápido.
En cuanto a bloqueo, en cuanto a qué, todo.
So an awful lot of discussion there from Fernando Rivas with Carolina Marin.
It's actually seldom you see Fernando speak as much as what he did here.
Yeah.
And he was really very expressive, I would say. And that's seldom you see that. So I'm sure he's got some points that he wants to drive and say, okay, you have to be aware of this.
Yeah. To me, that shows that maybe he's a little concerned about this match.
Oh, he's very concerned.
Yeah. So here we go, 3rd and deciding game.
And this is what Akane Yamaguchi was very successful at yesterday, playing these deceptive shots. And Aung Se-young could not really stomach it in the legs. You know, she didn't have the power to push off when she was wrong-footed.
Specifically on the return of the low serve or in general?
There was a lot of pressure on the low serve, but in general, I would say, but a lot of pressure on the low serve. And I think there will be a completely different complexion to women's singles as and when Akane Yamaguchi get back into full form.
Full form and full fitness.
Yeah.
But she's never used her injuries as an excuse.
No, not at all.
No.
She's such an athlete. Oh, it's a good shot, but out.
2-0.
That's just wrong. It's interesting. Yes, Yamaguchi needs to come back and in full form, but it's lovely to have Carolina back. And now we've got a young star in Eun-si Young. And when you look at the 12 level 500 and above World Tour events so far, it's really been dominated by 4 players, including Yamaguchi.
Yeah, just to say that the competition in the women's singles is outstanding.
It is, because Tai Su-ying, Irachino, Chen Yufei, Yamaguchi have won 9 of the 12 500 or above events, but now we've got Carolina Marin back. Now we've got this youngster. It's all looking. It was a great discipline before this, but it's even better now.
And we haven't talked about PV Sindhu.
No, exactly. The world champion.
Yes.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yep.
It's a very good place, the women's singles discipline. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, overdone it.
Yeah.
Play.
Nice landed in.
Eun-si Young is having the better side of the court at the moment. There's a slight drift against her, and it's keeping it in. And we see often that the shots are played out from where Carolina Marin is standing at the moment. So it's this tiny, tiny little drift, but it's enough to keep it in. And if you compare the match of today with the match of last week, I think one of the differences is that Marin was able to score more winners because the stadium in Denmark was faster than the conditions here.
Yeah, good point. Missed it. Well, this is 7 straight points. The Olympic champion, if he wants to win this one, has got to stop this run. Well, as we're watching that again, I can tell you that Carolina Marin asked to towel down. The umpire said no. And it's still mathematically possible for Eun-si Young to qualify for the World Tour finals. And when you think at the beginning of the year, she wasn't playing any.
She was nowhere near.
No, and she only recently started playing 500 and above tournaments.
Yeah.
But she's entered into the last 4 qualifying events. So she's playing Macau, China. She's playing Fuzhou, China.
Hong Kong.
And then Korea Masters. Whether she actually plays all those events, I mean, can she actually get to Macau, China in time?
Why
Starts
not?
on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Can only fly tomorrow. Or maybe she's got a flight tonight.
It's a tough schedule if she's got to be
Yes.
in Macau
Yeah.
in 2 days' time, fit to play.
I guess the first round won't actually start till Wednesday, will it? But she'll have jet lag.
Yeah, that possibly a qualification on Tuesday.
Yes. So this is absolutely amazing. Love 2 down to go 10-3 up. Extraordinary run of points. Here it is again. Yeah. And that was the set-up shot. It wasn't an outright winner this time, but it set her up in the rally.
And then winning the flat exchange.
Well, we're an hour and 1 minute into the match. And the Olympic champion in dire trouble here. And it's all due to the sheer brilliance of Unsi Young. No question, a new star has been born.
She's a teenage sensation. She is doing really well. And I think it's interesting that she has chosen not to play the World Junior Championship because she just wants to focus on senior badminton. And we can see why. But even a World Junior title doesn't count in the bigger picture. She is so focused on doing well here.
Yeah.
And in the future, of course.
Well, talking of focus and mental strength, here's one of my fun facts for the day, Marin. Is her father was a boxer, and she says that his background gives her mental strength. He was a very good boxer.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Very good boxer.
11-3.
So 11-3, the advantage.
Yeah, with a good start here from Ang Se-young, I can't really see how she could lose it.
Well, I was telling you in the early stages that Sun Ji-hyun was the last Korean player to contest a final at this level of tournament, so either a Super Series or a 500 World Tour event or above. The last player to win a title was Sun Ji-hyun, not surprisingly.
Yes.
But that was the
a long time ago.
Korean Open 2015.
Yeah.
4 years. So the player on court was a 13-year-old the last time that a Korean player.
She was just watching.
Yes.
And celebrating, of course.
Amazing stats. Missed it. Yeah. What, has anything happened? I'm searching my mind, Morten, for ideas, because Carolina Marin, you know, there was all that talk in between the second and third games from coach Fernando Rivas, and we felt that it was going to be different and she was perhaps going to be more... She hasn't been able to live with it. Is it just that she's making errors? Is it just that Unsi Young is playing better?
I think Marin, she just can't find the answers.
Yeah.
It's too difficult. And I think perhaps the long talk from Fernando Rivas was all about the mental aspect of it, how to work with it and know it's difficult, try to play your points, play them well, know it's going to be difficult, accept it, stuff like that. Perhaps, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
My Spanish is non-existent. but she simply can't find the answers. That's basically it.
Yeah.
Ang Se-young is playing everything back and play a lot of it back with good interest.
Mm.
And this 4-love up after the mid-game interval, I think it's a foregone conclusion that Ang Se-young will win.
Yeah, decisive.
Yeah.
Good defence. Good rally.
And that's coming over as well.
That's amazing from Ang Se-young. Just have a look at this. First of all, the dive to her backhand side, then a second one.
And not to forget the last one here.
Yeah, which was brilliant. I think what also it demonstrates, Morten, is we see it an awful lot in tennis. You talk about the different surfaces.
Yes.
But the playing conditions in badminton, you were mentioning that last week it was faster playing conditions than it is here. And it does make a big difference, because a week ago they played and Carolina Marin won. She had the answers.
Yes, and that's the difference between badminton and tennis. Tennis is, of course, the surface,
Yeah.
the 3 different surfaces.
Yeah.
But in badminton, it's the playing condition, how quick is it?
Yeah.
That's making the difference.
Yes.
And that's why we have different results the whole time.
Yeah. She doesn't believe it anymore. I said yesterday Carolina Marin was a feisty character, but I think her spirit has been broken.
And today.
Today, yes.
Today.
Today.
Yeah, she's staring defeat in the face, and she's accepting it.
Yeah, but it's the manner of this third game. I think it's certainly surprised me. I think it will surprise a lot of people. I mean, 2 points away from her first major title, and the Olympic champion has only managed to win 3 points. It's match point opportunities. 20, match point 3 for Ang Se-young.
And once again, we might have a situation where the opponent is not getting to double digits.
Did a full pirouette after that. Oh. Yeah.
That was an interesting choice of smash there from Marin. Just going, half pace, but going for placement. And look at how simple it was to guide the next one cross court.
Yeah. Still match point for Ang Se-young. The third. And she's done it. And the celebration for the 17-year-old. A star is born in women's singles in world badminton. What an extraordinary performance from the 17-year-old. An hour and 9 minutes to beat the reigning Olympic champion, Carolina Marin.
21-5.
4 years since the last women's singles player from Korea won a tournament of this level. And she did it in 3 games, but the third game totally one-sided. Well, she becomes the 8th different player to win a Super 500 or above tournament this year in the women's singles discipline. And quite frankly, a year ago, I didn't even really know about Ang Si-young. The rise to the top has been very quick indeed.